What is going on, Diablo 2 fans? Dabrunski here. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing what I think are potential areas that would make for great candidates to be introduced as new level 85 areas in Diablo 2 Resurrected. Now, the only reason that I'm making this video is because during a recent developer stream, they did allude to adjusting some monster levels in a couple specific areas. So that means new locations that we can target farm for some really GG items in Diablo 2. And I'm going to cover what I think first makes a good candidate for an area, and then I'm going to list off the top 5 areas that I would like to see adjusted to becoming new level 85 areas. So again, let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree or disagree. The whole purpose of this video is to just drive some cool discussion and stimulation, but I definitely think that some areas are better than others, and that's what this video is about. But a quick reminder before we jump in, just want to let you guys know that I do stream twice a week on Twitch. I got the link for my Twitch channel in the description below, so if you do enjoy my YouTube content, any follows on that platform would be very much appreciated. That being said, guys, let's jump in. So the first thing that I want to discuss is the 3 core principles that, in my humble opinion, make an area viable to become a level 85 area and be a good candidate for magic finding. The first is that it has to be somewhat easy to map find on Battle.net. So single player, you have static maps, so you can roll a specific map and that location will always spawn in the same spot. You don't have that luxury in Battle.net. So what are some of the most common magic finding locations on Battle.net currently? The pits. Act 1, you start in the Outer Cloister waypoint, you follow the path to the pits. Chaos Sanctuary, you start in the River Flame waypoint, and you teleport straight up. They're very simple and easy locations to find. That's the first thing that I think has to be taken into consideration when you're nominating a specific location to be a new level 85 area. The second is that it has to have really good monster density. So kind of tying back to the first point, there's 2 temples in the bottom part of Travincal, which are very easy to map find. You just take the waypoint from Trav, you go to exit Trav, and then on the left and right of the passage, there's 2 temples in there that are level 85 locations. But they're typically never magic find because they suffer from poor monster density. The more monsters that you kill, more chance of drops, more chance for better loot. So you have to have really good monster density. The third key core principle is that the locations have to be favorable to specific elemental characters, because one of the biggest problems in Diablo 2, in my opinion, is hard immunities. I think there's other ways you can get around and make a game better without immunities, but in its current state, that's like a whole other segue, but in its current state, specific locations like the Ancient Tunnels work really well for cold damage characters because hardly any cold immune spawn there. Chaos Sanctuary is great for Hammered In because there's no magic immunes, and again, the Chaos Sanctuary is a great location for any lightning character once you have Affinity, because you can consistently break lightning immunities in that spot. You don't have that luxury, for example, for a fire character, because you just can't break some specific immunities. Like the Venom Lord's in there with a level 25 Conviction and a level 25 low resistance charge, or low resistance curse from Necro. You still can't break that fire immunity. So I really do think that the third key core mechanic for a viable level 85 area is that it has to have favorable elemental immunities to target farm for certain characters. So the first location is Tristram in Act 1. Now hear me out, I know you guys think that might be a stupid location, but it's very easy to magic find, good monster density, and with Infinity you can break any fire immunity that's in that location. So it's good for Fire Sorceress, easy to find, and then it can also grab like the Wurt's Leg and do a cow run after. So it's just kind of catering to, instead of going to go get the leg to farm cows, why not just go to that location and then farm it for magic finding? It's also stylistically, I think, a really good location as well. Once you are in the Stony Tombs, you just need to find the path. So it can take a little bit to find the path. Okay, so you find the path right here. The Karen Stones will always spawn to the left or right of the path. So you teleport till you find the path. Boom. You're in Tristram. And then there's just lots of monsters to kill. Decent amount of champions for super uniques will spawn. Boss packs. Good monster density. You can see there that I broke the Carver immunity with Infinity. And not too long to clear the area level as well. So this is why I think it's a great spot. Easy to find, caters well to a Fire Sorceress, and has really good monster density. So location number 2 is in Act 2. Now this is definitely an area that I think needs some love, because currently there's only really one viable target spot for magic finding, and that is the Ancient Tunnels for a cold damage dealing character. People typically don't really focus on Duriel, and for good reason. He's a lot more challenging to locate compared to Dariel or Mephisto. So the second location is the Stony Tombs. Now, if you just exit Act 2 and just teleport around the rocky waste, you will eventually find a location called the Stony Tombs. So when you enter this location, there is no fire immunities. So it's kind of similar to the Ancient Tunnels. You can farm it with a fire character, but you don't need Infinity to break immunities. So it's kind of like the fire version of Ancient Tunnels. Now there's a lot of density, there's 2 different levels here and a super chest. I'm not going to explore the whole area, but you can just imagine not needing Infinity, like the first location, but still has good density, super chest, and pretty easy to find. Now the only thing is that compared to a couple other locations that I'm going to go over, this is one that is probably a little bit better suited towards the teleporting character, because you can imagine if we were just running, so I don't know, a running fire druid before we get Enigma, it's going to take a little bit longer to find the Stony Tombs compared to being able to teleport. But the reason why I like this area is there's no fire immunities. It's not too bad to find with a sorceress. And then again, really good monster density with a super chest at the end of the level. The third location is the Talrasha Tombs in Act 2. Now again, I know this is the second area for Act 2, but it's kind of a progression from the Stony Tombs. And that's because there is fire immunities in this location, but you can break them with Infinity. So again, kind of carrying on with that consistent theme that you're probably starting to notice is that I'm trying to suggest a lot of areas for a fire sorceress or fire character, because I feel like fire doesn't get the love that it deserves. But when you hit the Canyon and Magi waypoint, teleport to the Outer Rim, you guys probably know this, and then there's numerous Talrasha Tombs. Now that's another kind of overlooked benefit, I think, of this location, is that say if you're farming the pits, 2 to 3 minutes you recycle, 2 to 3 minutes you recycle, you're making a lot of new games. But if you're clearing Talrasha's tomb, it's going to take you quite a while to clear all of these, and I do also think it adds the other kind of like small bonus incentive of you can kill Duriel as well, because he's kind of like that boss that's never farmed. Now, these Preserved Dead, or the Burning Dead, excuse me, not the Preserved Dead, the red skeletons, the Burning Dead, they do have immunity to fire, but you can break it with Infinity. It's not like the stupid Venom Lords in Chaos. So I think that being able to find this location pretty easily, you can farm it with N chase gear like Infinity Fire Sorceress, and the fact that it has really good monster density makes the Talrasha Tombs a fantastic spot, and it adds another viable location instead of just sort of having the Ancient Tunnels. Okay, so moving on to Act 3, we did cover Tristram Act 1, Stony Tombs, and Talrasha Tombs in Act 2. I do think that Act 3 needs a location that has some good density. So you currently have the temples, which we talked about earlier. Nobody really farms them. You have Travancore, which is a great location for facets, high runes, and jewelry. And you have Mephisto, the common target endgame boss, but it really does lack a level 85 area that has good monster density. So that's where my suggestion of the Arachnid's Lair comes in. So if you take the Spider Forest waypoint, the Arachnid's Lair always spawns right next to the waypoint. Always. So if we teleport down here, it's decent monster density, not quite like Chaos Sanctuary, but you can break all fire immunities in here as well, so I know it's like a common theme I keep coming back to. But this definitely has way, way better density than any Ruined Temple does, for sure. Like, there's no comparison here. And there is a super chest. So again, I really do feel like this fits all of the builds for a viable spot. And it's kind of that endgame chase location as well, that when you have Infinity, you can break all immunities. So there's a super chest. Let's quickly teleport through it. So you can see that there's definitely a lot of monsters there compared to the Ruined Temple. Like, it's a pretty decent sized area. Again, I keep coming back to that theme of it excels with fire characters, because fire characters need some love in this game. Nobody can deny that. And it's super easy to find. So the Spider Forest waypoint, it's always right next to it. It's probably the easiest location to find. You cannot mess it up. So that's why I think that it makes a really good spot and a good addition to make Act 3 a little bit more robust in terms of magic finding. So the final location that I want to suggest as a new level 85 area is the Icy Cellar in Act 5. So it's super easy to magic find. So if you just teleport to the Ancient's Way waypoint, This location is always to the right of the waypoint. You just teleport to the right, it's right there. It's always going to spawn somewhere to the right, so you just go counterclockwise to the right of the waypoint. And the reason why I like this spot is a couple of reasons. Again, it does have all the other stuff that we talked about. Easy to find, good density. There's no fire immune in here as well. So I did experiment magic finding this with an Insight Mercenary and a full towel set, and I was still one-shotting stuff with Fireball. So you don't have that endgame gear chase, but you have these evil urns here, which contributes to additional boss packs. So nothing spawned out of that one. We'll see if we can find another one. But every time you pop an evil urn, it's going to grant you another boss pack. So no fire immunities. There is gloams and dulls, so it can kind of be a little bit nasty that way. But I have found some really nice stuff here, like a PK ring, which was a nice find. There's a super chest. There's a super unique here, Snap Chip Shatter. Now, unfortunately, until they address like a bug with super uniques, he can't really drop like Pindle. It's still a cool find. And here's an example of you pop an evil urn, you get an extra bonus boss pack. So again, it hits everything that I think is important. It caters to specific elemental build, being fire, easy to find, pretty good density, super chest, and then you can bump up the number of champion and boss packs by hitting evil urns in the location. So it kind of has everything, with the downside of some nasty monster combinations being Doles, Dolverns. Yeah, Dolverns are very nasty. Dolls and Gloams, they can be pretty tough, but that covers pretty much every location that I personally would like to see buffed up to a level 85 area. Again, I know someone's going to mention the Act 5 portals. I don't think they're their best because they're a little bit challenging to find, in my personal opinion. Just kind of like randomly teleporting around big, large areas to try and find them. Again, that's just kind of my 2 cents on it. And then I might also get some feedback about not catering to other locations for like cold damage dealing or lightning damage dealing characters, but I think that they kind of have it pretty good as it is. Blizzard Sorceress is super strong, Mo Tricky Mephisto, doing Indariel, doing Ancient Tunnels. Then Lightning Sorceress, once you get Infinity, you can pretty much magic find almost every location in the game. So maybe give an honorable mention to the Arcane Sanctuary if you want to magic find as Lightning Sorceress without Infinity. That's kind of my reasoning and my 2 cents, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree or disagree. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, if you could throw a like on it, share it, and even consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. I post new weekly content on YouTube, and I do stream twice a week on Twitch. Any follows on Twitch or subs on YouTube would be amazing. Other than that, guys, hope you have a fan-frickin-tastic day, and I'll catch you on my next video or live stream. Peace out.